Tēnā koe, ko Lena Karakato Ingoa. This is my Aramatawai Mana Tangata Whakapuaki takitahi LO1, ER 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Me kara ki e taua. Whakataka te hau ki te uru. Whakataka te hau ki te tonga. Kia mā kena ki ta. Kia mā taratara ki tai. E hi aki ana te atakura. He tio, he huka, he hauhu, he mauri. Kia ora. Today I will explore two established Māori health models, Te Wharetapa Whā and Te Wheke, and then I'll present my own model. I have named Ko Waio, Ko O as a pathway of Māori restoration. So my focus is to understand how these models express mana tangata and how tikanga, attributes, and principles support oranga or well-being. So this is the Te Wharetapa Whā health model. It was developed by Mason Jury in 1984. It is the foundational health model that compares well-being to a wharenui with 4 walls representing different dimensions of health. Taha tinana, taha hinengaro, taha wairua, and taha whānau. The key concept of this model is balance. If one wall is weakened, the whole structure becomes unstable. The tikanga of this model are whanaungatanga, manaakitanga, and wairuatanga. The ahuatanga is a holistic view of well-being, interconnectedness of all dimensions, and collective identity. And the principles is health is multidimensional, balance must be maintained, and well-being is relational, not just individual. Te Wharetapa Whā expresses mana tangata by recognizing the inherent dignity of a person within their relationships, their wairua, and their environment. This is the Te Wheke model. It was developed by Rose Petty in 1984. This model uses the octopus as a metaphor for well-being. The head represents whānau, the central foundation of well-being, and then each tentacle represents a different dimension of health. We're connected to the center, which is waiora, total well-being, which is the ultimate goal. So we have wairuatanga, hinengaro, taha tinana, whanaungatanga, mauri, mana ake, hākuruma, akuima, and whatumanawa. The tikanga of this model is whakapapa, whanaungatanga, and wairuatanga. The ahuatanga is interconnected and flowing, grounded in whānau, and identity-centered. The principles are all aspects contribute to waiora. Well-being is inseparable from whānau, and identity and ancestry are essential to health. The Te Wheke model expresses mana tangata by recognizing that a person's well-being is deeply rooted in their whakapapa identity and their relationships with others and their tupuna. My health model is called Ko Waio, Ko O. The foundation of this model explores the journey of who am I to I am, using the metaphor of water to represent the development of self. It positions identity, self-awareness, and inner grounding as the foundation required before holistic well-being can be achieved. My health model is called Ko Waio, Ko O, and it's a journey of self-discovery. This model follows a koru pattern, meaning people revisit stages and deepen their healing over time. Tikanga involved with my health model is whakapapa, is your connection to identity, ancestors, and belonging. Tapu, recognizing the sacredness of self. Aroha, compassion, especially through healing and trauma for oneself. Manaakitanga, care, support, and holding others safely. Hono, truth, honesty with self. Maramatanga, awareness, insight, and understanding. Tika, alignment, doing what is right and balanced. Rangatiratanga, self-determination and personal authority. Kotahitanga, connection, unity with others. Manatangata, dignity, honoring self and others. My attributes, I have 5 stages in my health model: Waipuna, Wairere, Waimarama, Waitau, and Ko O, which I'll get to on the next slide. And the principles of my health model are Mauri is inherently present. We are born whole. Mauri can become disturbed through life experiences. Healing begins with safety, compassion, and awareness. Self-awareness or maramatanga leads to transformation. Well-being is achieved through alignment with values. Identity is remembered. The journey is not linear. It follows a koru, cyclical return. Oranga is expressed through how we live daily. True healing restores and strengthens mana tangata. So my model reflects the journey from Ko Waio, who am I, to Ko O, I am. It shows how we are all born whole, shaped by life experiences, awakened through awareness and healing, become grounded and integrated, and ultimately express our authentic self. So I have 5 stages in my health model. The first one is Waipuna, source. The stage recognises that we are born whole. Tikanga of the stage is whakapapa, tapu. Āhuatanga is mauri pu. The principal identity exists before disruption. My next stage is Wairere. This is the flow and disruption stage. The stage reflects life experiences that disturb mauri. The tikanga of this is aroha and manakitanga. Āhuatanga is mauri raru, and the principal healing begins with safety and compassion. Third stage is Waimarama, clarity. It's the awakening stage, and the tikanga of this is pono and maramatanga. The āhuatanga is mauri marama. The fourth stage is Waito. This is the settled integration stage. The stage is about grounding and integration. Tikanga is tika, rangatiratanga. Āhuatanga is mauri tau. The principles are healing must be lived every day. And the final stage is the core O stage. You've finally reached a point where you know who you are. This is the embodiment of the authentic self. The tikanga of this stage is mana tangata and tahitanga. The āhuatanga is mauri ora. The principle is well-being is expressed through how we live. I created this model based on my own healing journey. Each stage represents a stage that I went through in order to feel like I'm in my complete embodiment of my authentic self at the moment. And to give you an example, let's talk about some traumas that I may have had in the past and how that shaped the way I viewed the world, how that shaped my interactions with people, how that shaped how I looked at myself. And when I went through my Waimarama stage, the awakening, that is when I was able to question who I was. I went back to Waipuna where I realised whakapapa was a complete important part of my healing journey, understanding who I am as I was adopted into the karaka whānau, and I didn't meet my biological koroneko whānau until about 6 years ago. And that connection with my whānau enabled me to find grounding in my tūranga waiwai and start to understand who I really was. I also built my self-boundaries. I thought deeply on what I was driven by, my values, and I started to reflect on past choices that I had made. This then brought me into being able to regulate my nervous system after I started to journal, after I started to meditate, after I started to do breath work. In summary, Te Whatatapa shows the importance of balance across key dimensions of health, and Te Peke shows that well-being is interconnected and grounded in whānau and whakapapa, and my model called Waio Ko O builds on these ideas by focusing on the restoration and expression of Māori over time. And together these models show that rongo Māori is not only about healing illnesses, but about restoring mana tangata and supporting oranga in a holistic and culturally grounded way. Nō reira, tēnā koe, Māori ora.